Hi everyone, it's Elsie here and I have a long old process video for you today because I'm making a mini album using the beautiful Joyful Day collection. And yeah, this is kind of a very simple mini album base, but it's a very kind of classic and fun design filled with lots of pink fresh goodies. So I'm starting off by creating my cover, and you can see I've written the dimensions of the cover pieces on the chipboard. So I used two 4x6 pieces and one 2x6 piece for the spine, and I used chipboard as my base, but this chipboard, I think it came in some packaging or something, but it's very thin chipboard. It's kind of like cereal box thickness, but pink fresh papers are so sort of, they've got such a good weight to them that yeah, the cover ended up being really strong because of the paper I used. So did I say what this paper's called? It's called Small Beginnings, and I absolutely love those little plants with the little strips of colour that look like you've taped them to something, and I thought that would work really well for this kind of spring themed album. And I just stuck a big chunk of it down onto my cover, and I made some slits in the corners, and then for some reason I decided to make some slits in the spine to fold before I folded it all over, but I really didn't need to do that, so don't do that. It actually made like the corners slightly uneven, and I had to kind of press them down with like a bone folder. So yeah, I'm just folding everything over and taping it down. I just used some strong double-sided tape, nothing particularly fancy, and yeah, it's just so simple and easy to do this kind of cover, and it looks really professional, I think. So I also taped the chipboard pieces together with some masking tape, and that was just so I could get the spacing right and sort of have it all as one sort of cohesive piece rather than everything flailing about, because I'm a bit disorganized like that. So yeah, and it also just helped reinforce those edges. And I'm just going over with them with a bone folder just to make sure that everything pressed was kind of nicely folded and could be worked well. So now I'm creating the spine, and I wish I'd used a pattern paper for this, but I just used some A4 white paper and trimmed it down to 6 inches in height, so it's kind of the same size as the cover. And I scored at every half inch again, and then at every 1/4 inch, which creates a little gap in between each sort of fold where you're going to place your pages. And I did that because this album ended up being quite chunky, so it gave a little bit more space in between each page. So yeah, I hope you can see what I'm doing there. It kind of looks more complicated than it actually is, but yeah, it's just so it's a really easy fold to do for your albums. And like I said, I wish I'd used pattern paper because you could see some of the white in there, but I didn't think about that ahead of time. But I don't mind it because white's kind of a good base colour because everything just looks good against it, really. So yeah, the folds are not the easiest thing to do in the world. They're a bit fiddly, but yeah, once you get everything sort of folded the right way, it's really easy just to see how it's going to fit into the album. And if you want to know how many how many folds, spine, blimmin' neck, I meant pages, how many pages I made 7. So yeah, I feel like that's it's a good amount. They're double-sided, and I create lots of different pockets and sort of interactive elements, which you'll see in a bit. And yeah, now I'm just putting some double-sided tape on one sort of fold of the folds. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I should just not do voiceovers. I should just put some music over this. But anyway, yeah, so I'm just taping the sort of the larger folds together to create that hinge to put my pages on. And yeah, as you can see, it just folds up really nicely, and you get the little 1/4 inch gaps in between each fold. So yeah, you got lots of space to work with an album like this. And yeah, I'm just folding everything over just to make sure it folds back and forth nicely, so all the pages turn nice. And yeah, it fitted pretty perfectly into onto the spine, so that's great because I didn't measure anything. Classic. And now I'm just trimming off the corners, and that just makes sure nothing kind of sticks out when I attach the pages, and yeah, just makes everything a little bit easier to stick down and create a more finished, polished design. So yeah, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm sticking that down, and yeah, just using some double-sided tape again, nothing fancy. You could use super strong tape, and this is just regular double-sided tape, but I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, this worked out really well, and it hasn't fallen apart since I made this, so that's good. Oh, sorry about my hair there. And yeah, just folding the sides down as well, and yeah, just make sure everything's in place and folded nicely. And yeah, that's pretty much the base done. So now I'm using the leftover bits I have from my cover, and I'm using the B side of that Small Beginnings paper to cover up the insides. I did consider using obviously some other papers, as you can see, but I just really like that sort of coral, it's kind of corally, peachy colour. It's really nice, and it's a nice sort of neutral base colour, and it's kind of a simple pattern, which I really liked. So now I am decorating the inside cover, and I had this idea to create a little pocket but make it look like grass, like a spring scene. So I am using this green paper, and I'm sort of chopping into it to create the look of grass, and then I just stitched around the whole thing with some white thread just to make sure everything was secure. And I'm really sorry, like, my camera died as I was doing that and I didn't realise. So I did a little bit of work in using some of the die cut pinwheels and that little pennant fabric flag, which is seriously just so cute. And they do come with sort of cocktail sticks in them, but I just cut those out and put a longer one in to make it look like an actual sort of flag sticking out the ground. And yeah, I think it's super adorable the way that all this all looked. And I recently got these book corners, and I just love the way these look on the album. They're new to my stash, and yeah, they're obviously functional because they protect the corners from getting damaged, but they also just make the album look really cute and professional, and yeah, fancy. And I'm a fancy gal, so yeah, I was super happy with how those looked. You can fold them over, but I found that they just kept falling off and they were really annoying me, so I just popped a bit of my liquid glue down, and they've stuck really well. So yeah, very happy with how that turned out. And now it's time to get to the pages. I didn't know which paper to use first, obviously, and I wanted something that kind of complemented all the colours on the left hand side of the cover. So I'm using this cute little floral print. It's lots of little dainty floral clusters, and yeah, it's got lots of colours in it, and it just worked really well, I think. So I just cut a sort of 4-inch strip of the pattern, folded it in half, and yeah, just to create a little pocket, and you just place that over the album hinge. Is it a hinge? I'm going to call it a hinge, you know what I mean. And that created a really cute little pocket, and it's super easy and it covers up the spine. So I also used this paper called Fresh Start. I love that black pattern on the other side. It's very busy and bold, but yeah, I just really like it. It's really cool, I think, and unique. So yeah, and on the back of that I'm just creating like a little flap. So you've got a pocket and a flap, and you just attach it to the same page, and it just it just works really well. It just creates extra space to add whatever you want. Yeah, again, just using double-sided tape, sticking that all down, and yeah, super simple, super easy, and yeah, very interactive, which I like. And it creates more space within limited space, if that makes sense. So yeah, it just means that you can add even more pretty things into your album. And yeah, I also created a little notch just to let people know that it's a pocket with a circle punch. And now I'm creating a little I was going to say hinge, but it's not a hinge, a little tab out of some puffy stickers to make sure you can turn the page, and one of them says "You are magical," I think, and the other one says "Coffee date," which like just didn't really have any relevancy to the album necessarily. It's really cute yellow colour and it went well with the paper. So yeah, I ended up covering that with a Velcro dot, which you'll see in a little bit. So another way I'm kind of creating my pages is to actually split the pages in two. So I took one of those hinges and cut it in half, and I'm going to attach this little envelope, which I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board to make. And yeah, it's a tiny little thing and it's just cute, I think. So I love this minty pattern. It's just adorable. And to attach it to the spine, I literally cut the tiniest bit off the edge, so that bit was open, and then I'm just closing it with by attaching it to the spine, so it's covering both sides of it, if that makes sense. And yeah, I love using little envelopes like this. Again, it just creates more space. And I'm really sorry you didn't see how I made the little top part of that page, but yeah, I'll have a separate video where I'll do a flip through and you can see what I did there. So now I'm creating my own little shaker pocket, just because this is I love little shaker pockets. I just think they're super adorable. So I cut this piece of paper to a 6x4 size, and then I stitched over it with some tulle, is that how you say it? Like that fine little mesh that you get on ballet tutus. You know what I mean. And I stitched that around 3 sides, and then filled the thing with sequins, and then stitched up that bottom edge to create a little shaker pocket. And yeah, I just think this would look really cute with just sort of some sort of like 3x4 photo in the center of it, and then have all this glittery shaker sequins sort of floating around. And yeah, I love the sparkle this adds, and I love all the the colours of the frame behind it. I just think it looks really, really lovely and sweet. And what did I put on the other side? Did I put the pocket on the other side? I can't remember. Oh, this will be a surprise for both of us. So yeah, again, it's just so easy to like cut into these papers. They're just so inviting. I really just love this collection. It's very classic Pink Fresh, with just the colour scheme and the patterns, and yeah, it feels so yeah, the patterns are so unique, and there's not anything like it on the market, which is why I really, really love working for Pink Fresh. Yeah, so there I kind of had a completely different idea to what this page turned out. So I ended up just creating a pocket. And yeah, I would have done it differently if I thought ahead, but I didn't want to cut into any more of that paper and waste it. So yeah, I'm just working with what I got. So yeah, as I said, I just made this into a pocket, and now I'm just punching some holes and popping in some eyelets to make a little tie that I can tie the pocket closed with. I don't think I did this very well, wasn't really sure how to do it, so I just like glued those little punch circles down, and now I'm adding in the eyelets, and yeah, it worked. It creates a really cute little pocket, and I love that you can still that you can see the paper, the pattern on the other side. I really love that wreath pattern. And yeah, again, really simple. Don't know what I'm doing now. I'm completely off camera. Well done me. Okay, next page. I'm sorry, again, my camera cut out and I didn't realise there was so much footage. I had about 4 or 5 hours of footage. I'm not joking. So yeah, I'm sorry that some of it got cut, but you know, I don't want this to be a 3-hour long video. So I'm using one of the Pink Fresh exclusive cut files. If you join the Facebook group, I'll have that link down below. You get access to these cut files, and yeah, super adorable. I love this floral one, and I decided to do to back it and sort of attach it to a page. I love this combination of the pink and green. It's just very classic and very it just makes me happy. So because you're going to see the other side, because I'm going to create a page out of this design, or like a flip thing. Oh my god, words have 16 minutes in and words have failed me. Because you could obviously see the reverse side, which was a bit of a mess. I used some pattern paper to cover that up, and then just made sure all the gaps in between the flowers were cut out with my craft knife. And then I love that green pattern on the reverse of that pink paper, so I wanted to feature that on the page behind, but I didn't want the hinge showing through, so I created a little pocket out of that beautiful sort of dainty floral sprig pattern, and I stitched some pom-pom trim on the top, just because I love pom-poms, and I just love the texture that adds, and it just helps separate the edge of the pocket and just adds a really nice little detail, I think. And then what am I? Oh, this page turned out to be a bit of a bit of a mission. It was a very simple idea, because I had these two in the ephemera pack. There are these two wreath die cuts, and they're basically the same size, but just a slightly different design and colour scheme. So I thought, oh, that'd be really nice to like create like a little window using those wreaths as frames. And yeah, it did work. As you can see, I used some of that tool mesh thing, you know what I mean, to create that window, and I filled it with some little star sequins, just because I was on a shaker sequin kick. And then I realised I didn't like the way, because obviously you could see through it, the way the other side looked. So I wanted to create another little page. So I cut some of that floral paper down, and I went to pull it up because I'd already stuck the little window pages together onto the spine, so they didn't want to come up. This tape is really good. It's from Hobbycraft, in case you were wondering. And yeah, so then I had to create like another little page to fold over. So I just, yeah, it ended up working fine, and I was just being really perfectionist-y about it. You can't even tell the difference. So yeah, I decided to decorate this page with one of those, one of the chipboard frames, and create a little pocket, which was the perfect width for a for one of the tags from the die cut pack to fit in. And yeah, love the way that turned out in the end. So yeah, all's well that ends well. And I was sorry about my big fluffy arms in the last clip, but I've said it before, the room that I craft in gets freezing, so fluffy dressing gowns are a must. Now I'm creating another little envelope. This one is a bit bigger, it's the whole 4x6 size, and again use my punch board for that. And I love this, I just love that floral sprig paper. I think it might be my favourite in the collection. Yeah, it's just really simple and classic, and yeah, I just love the ochre colour of the little flowers. But on the other side, I didn't really like the way it looked too busy, those square patterns on the reverse of that paper. So I created like an envelope insert with just some white paper, and I stuck that into the envelope just so you wouldn't see all that pattern, because it just made it look a bit too busy. And yeah, this envelope, you could obviously leave it blank. I decided to basically make a mini album within a mini album, because apparently this wasn't enough, you know. I was having so much fun making this album that I just didn't want to stop. So yeah, I'm also using some Velcro dots to sort of seal the edges together so you can open it and close it really easily. And I got those on Amazon, and they were pretty cheap. I got like 500 of them, which is slightly ridiculous, but you know, they'll last a while. And yeah, it's just a really easy way to make sure that your album opens and closes properly, without sort of having to make fiddly things with like string and whatever. Like, it's just easy just to stick a Velcro dot down. So now I'm also creating the mini album to go in the envelope, and I'm just cutting some little 3x4 pieces of pattern paper. And yeah, I don't know why I decided to create another album basically, but yeah, this idea is really, really simple and so easy to put together, and it was just fun just to sort of use all of the cute embellishments and decorate all the little pages. Yeah, like I said, I was just having too much fun, didn't want to stop. So yeah, I rounded the corners of each card, and then I'm either using like little ephemera pieces to decorate, or creating my own pockets, or yeah, I'm just experimenting with each page. It's kind of nice to work on a smaller format, and I especially love the way the card that I created there turned out. I love that ditzy floral print with that ephemera piece and the little yellow bow, just so cute. And it ended up stitching along the top, so that the whole thing could flip up. And yeah, it's just really nice and interactive and a lot of fun. And I hadn't used any of these labels yet, so this was a good way to bust those out. And I absolutely love those labels. They've got some really lovely gold foiling on them and just really lovely colours. And on some of them I'm taking the stick off with my anti-powder tool. No, it's not anti-powder. My powder tool, so I could move them around and they wouldn't get in the way. And I'm using a combination of stapling things down or gluing them, or not really gluing them, but like sewing them, just to add some more texture, and also just makes it really, like, the whole sort of process really quick and easy to do. So yeah, I kept the embellish them really simply, just because the idea of this is that, you know, once they're done, you add photos onto them, and yeah, they're already embellished, so you just need to add the photos or add the journaling or whatever, and yeah, it's all good. And yeah, there I'm using some vellum as a pocket. I just really like that, the way that, you know, it looks translucent and you can kind of see the pattern behind it. Just adds some really nice texture. And I really love how this pocket turned out that I'm creating now, because I used that blue side, so it looks exactly the same. You can't really tell there's a pocket, but yeah, it's just kind of like a hidden little pocket, and I just like that, the way that looked. And with that die cut that says "Celebrate Today" going across it, it just looked really nice. Yeah, and super easy, and it just looks so cute. I love all the Pink Fresh stuff like this because it's like lots of little bits that you can just add, and it's like a nice little little sparkle of something. And I love those chipboard frames. There's just, yeah, all the different sizes, all the different colours. Yeah, they just look really nice on the page. And yeah, obviously a great place to add photos and whatnot. So, I'm not sure what else to say now. 25 minutes in. Okay. Oh, I'm going to need a nap after this. I don't do talking for this long. I'm not a public speaker, in case you hadn't noticed that I'm completely inadequate in this department. But anyway, I hope you don't mind the voiceover too much, and if you do, just, you know, you can always mute me and put on some music or something. But if you are listening to me ramble on, well done, 10 points to you. Yeah, just yeah, I'm not a natural at this, but yeah, I'm always trying to get better. So yeah, just adding all the little bits and pieces to the album. I think I made sort of 4 pages which are double-sided, so 8 front covers, pages, you know what I mean. And yeah, it was just fun just to decorate them. And then once all the pages are decorated, I sort of worked out an order in which I wanted them to go. And oh, what am I doing there? Oh, I'm trimming. I did a lot of stitching, and yeah, I'm just trimming everything off to make it all neat and lovely and all that. And yeah, to kind of create to attach all the pages together, I'm just arranging them in whatever order I want them to go. And then I'm getting some just plain white satin ribbon from my stash, and I'm basically going to run that through the middle of each of the pages, and yeah, that will kind of create a really simple mini album. And I love the way the ribbon looks because you can use the ribbon to tie a pretty bow around it all, and yeah, just looks super nice, I think. So yeah, you'll see that in the flip through, which I'll have in a separate video, like I said, and I'll obviously link that below and at the end. So now this is the page that I'm really not sure about on the album. I think it's all right. It's, you know, it's there, and yeah, it was fun to just experiment. So I'm creating like this little sort of pocket. I guess it's kind of a pocket. I'm basically using thread to hold sort of some large tags in, and yeah, I strung some sequins through and things like that, and I wasn't really sure about it. And again, you'll see, yeah, you can see there on the left hand side how that looks. Not 100% sold on it, but you know, it's there, and yeah, it's there. And also I used some of the packaging to create one of the large tags, and yeah, just the packaging, the backing sheets of like the stickers and things like that have some really cute designs on them, so why not use them? And I created that large tag from that, and it just adds a really nice sort of subtle bit of colour and pattern. And then on this final page, I am basically creating a very similar page to what I did in the beginning. Again, creating a little pocket and then adding a little flap on the other side. And I decided to do some stitching on this bit on the edge. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, but yeah, I just fancied doing some stitching. I hadn't really done much hand stitching on... Actually, I don't think I did any. This was the only bit of hand stitching I did. Whoa. So yeah, just felt like doing some hand stitching. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much the final page. Well, it is the final page. And then I just went back over everything and sort of embellished and finished things off. Yeah, it's a very chunky album. I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to fill it all, but I ended up definitely filling it up with some gorgeous little bits and pieces. Yeah, see, that's how the little album turned out. You'll get a closer look at that in the flip through, and that fits really nicely in that little pocket. What am I doing now? Oh, I totally don't remember doing that. I created a little tag. Wow, created a little tag to put in that blue pocket that I wasn't sure about. And I recently got the We Are Memory Keepers crocodile to attach all my eyelets and things down, and let me tell you, it's so good. Having so much fun putting eyelets and everything. It just makes everything look so nice. And yeah, I got that on Amazon as well. It just went really cheap one day, and I was just like, okay, I'm getting that before it's gone, because I don't know why Amazon do that. They always change the price of everything. But anyway, also all the little pockets and envelopes and things that I created, I think I already mentioned the Velcro dots, but I just used some Velcro dots for them just to make sure everything stays put. Yeah, and it just makes everything so much easier, and it was so cheap, and it was like one of those things that's yeah, really essential, I think, when you're making mini albums like this. And now I'm embellishing that little bit of that little flap with a fussy cut rose. And yeah, I don't think they needed too much more of these albums. I just added a few little die cuts in, and decorated the cover and things like that. I kept the cover very simple. I can't remember whether I actually showed that on this, but again, you'll see it in the other video, the flip through in the other video. And yeah, just finishing things off, because obviously this is an album, it doesn't have any photos in it yet or anything like that, so yeah, I wanted to make sure there was enough space to for whoever to add what they want in this. And yeah, oh, those paper clips are amazing. I love them. They're so like just detailed and dimensional, and yeah, I think they add a really lovely little special touch to the album. And I think that's going to be it for now. If you want to see the full album, like I said, video will be linked below and on the screen. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you lasted to the end, well done, because I barely did. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and you're inspired to create a little album of your own. And yeah, have a great week, everyone. I'll see you later.